Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It is time for the draft for Game 2. Mamba Mentality now on blue side, Chicken Gang on red side. Of course, I'm still Necrox, joined by Ito, a man who does it all here at the Black Twitch League. In Game 1, that was rough stuff for Mamba Mentality. Certainly need to switch some things up.
And we see that they immediately do the very first ban of the draft is Anivia. Yeah. Everyone is aware. Anivia did some very nasty, disgusting things to them that game, so they're going to go ahead and get rid of Shredded Lettuce's Anivia in the mid lane with the first ban of the draft. And then we see coming out after that, they're going to get rid of Boatkeeper Samir in Defiance as Volibear, and we're going to see the Fiddlesticks ban away from Malone and the Zillion and Bard ban. So two bans for the support. Of course, the support player is the highest elo player on Mamba Mentality, and we see a takeaway as well with the blue one pick of Ezreal taking away that save Ezreal option from Bowkeeper.
And we didn't get to talk much about it towards the end of that game because it ended so quickly. But Ezreal, man, this champion is just built different. He tanks with the Divine Sunderer and then eventually going into the Frozen Heart, and he's just so much extra damage. It is ridiculous. I love to see it taken away here. Mamba Mentality certainly understanding the condition of this champ, but Chicken Gang want to match that scaling, they want to match that range, and they are going straight for the duo, assuming they continue to lock in this Lulu, and indeed they do. So Jinx Lulu, so much late game damage now for Chicken Gang already on the board.
Yeah. I think there are some people in the chat saying earlier that Ezreal is just absolutely busted on this patch right now. And Ezreal, when we saw Ezreal had that incredible quadra kill near that dragon fight near the end of that game, and Bowkeeper did a very good job piloting it. And again, we saw that we couldn't really. It was hard to kind of pressure Ezreal Lulu. We saw them attempt that dive early game on the Ezreal Lulu, and we saw that it failed and actually resulted in Ezreal picking up a kill. So, and also this is a very spicy pick. I don't see a lot of Zyra. I haven't seen Zyra in a while. I haven't seen Zyra be like in meta for comp for a while. So very interesting to see this Zyra picked up here. I'm assuming in the support position for Mario Flay. They have a Zyra and Ezreal bot lane. And oh, the Nunu was almost a Nunu. Now being covered as a J4, but 4 seconds. We'll see.
Yeah, either one, they basically do the same thing. They're both just
Yeah, that's
engaged
true.
tools, lots of CC. The Zyra is interesting to me, especially paired with the J4. I think if you do get the ulti inside the Cataclysm, it can be
Oh
incredible,
yeah.
right? They're stuck in a pit and then they all get
Oh
thrown
yeah.
up into the air. It would be honestly hilarious to watch.
Oh
Question
yeah.
is, do you do that? Zyra likes to kite back. She likes to have a lot of zone control and then just play around. Her plans driving on the opposite end of that spectrum, just really wants to go forward. That's what he's best at. Chicken Gang will respond here with a mid laner on R3. Saw this last time, and they are
I
picking
love
up
it.
that Syndra.
I love it. Everyone knows that Ethan's champion pool in the BTL has not been the largest. Shredded Lettuce has stuck to like the same 3 or 4 champion pool, but he plays all three of them very well. So they like Chicken Gang in the playoffs here. They're showing that they are aware of this fact and they are just comfortable picking his champion early before they get to the second phase of ban, so people don't ban out the Ethan mid lane champion. So that they banned out the Anivia. They knew that if they did not pick Syndra here, Syndra and Talia were probably getting banned. So they stopped that from happening by just picking the early Syndra here. I love to see it from Chicken Gang. Chicken Gang aware of their weaknesses and just like making up for it. Like we'll just pick it now.
And, well, I mean, they now get to ban the counters, and Annie, certainly one of them, does do a lot of upfront and bursts. So, Chicken Gang going to take that one off the board. Shen, as well, was a really nice tool last game, but instead will be banned away. Silas, as well, something that was threat from Shifo, excuse me, on game one. Poppy, of course, taken off the board as well. So with the R4 pick, Chicken Gang basically have to go to their jungle, or they could draft themselves a flex. They don't want to give away double solo lane counter pick here. That could be a way to lose out in game two and get us right back into an even game state. 10 seconds left on that clock. They're taking all the time in the world to think about where they're headed for this pick. What is the selection? And it is that ever so powerful Rumble headed to the jungle.
Yes. Yet again, we'll see that looks like Rumble's definitely having some priority here.
He
And
is one of those
this
champs that
in this series.
he loves it. Yeah, I mean, Rumble not only gets priority, he is priority. He generates priority. Everything about priority in this champion
True.
centers around Rumble.
Very fair, very fair. Ooh, okay. We got some engage here on Mamba Mentality. We are playing things a little bit differently. We got some engage. They had the easy Nautilus press R button. We want an easy to execute engage of our own, while Chicken Gang currently does not have very easily executable engage right now. They do have some disengage though.
They have some nice disengage with the Lulu Syndra, but I mean,
Oh,
if you're just gonna commit, you might as well go full on for it and get the Malphite Yasuo combo, Ito, and they're gonna grab it for themselves. Man, I love to see it.
yeah, I love to see it too. They are really, hey man, I have been people that have heard me cast a lot here because I do a lot of the casting here at the BTL. I love ease of execution. Boy, oh boy, do I love to see ease of execution team comps. Because I feel like at this level, we're not professionals. Let's just put together a team comp that is easy to execute. We know what our game plan is and we know how to execute it. And I very much see what Mamba Tani's game plan is here. And I'm sure that they can all do the execution. Literally, oh geez, this comp is almost kind of disgusting, and they make up for the lack of AP damage by having a Zara support. So like you can see that, oh, they have Malphite top, they have Yasuo mid, and they have Ezreal ADC. So like, yo, they're kind of going to be all AD except for they have a Zara. I think this is well put together by Mama Mentality. I think this is a solid draft, very very solid draft for game 2 here. We're going to see the Camille locked in for Shifu. We'll see Shifu do very disgusting things on that Camille, and we'll see. I'm sure Hacksaw is going to play a little bit more passively in the top lane, make sure that he can stay alive and not give some kills over to Shifa, who will probably attempt to will carry the game if he gets ahead.
Certainly, and that's the last pick, so a lot of weight on that for Shifo on the Camille. He certainly performed in game 1, looking to ride that wave into momentum into game 2. But you're absolutely right. Mamba Mentality have just drafted the easiest Wombo combo in the world. You have Jarvan Cataclysm. Anyone stuck in there is either getting hit by a big old rock or a lot of thorns. One or the other, it's not going to be too pleasant, so Chicken Gang needs to be wary of their flash cooldowns. The only member that can get out of that pit is Camille. She has a couple options with the hook shot, wall dive, or the Hextech ultimatum. Other than that, everyone is immobile for Chicken Gang. They will die if they're in the pit regardless. So Mamba Mentality, if they can execute and they can get to these objectives in time, I really like what they've done. It's simple, it's easy, and that's how you pick up a game at a deficit in a series.
Yes, I think this is just such an excellent comeback for game 2. I think yeah, they really I just love it so much. I can't I'm not trying to be biased here. I just love. I think this is just really smart. Like easy to execute. Get yourself a win. Like and just make the game as less complicated as possible, as least complicated as possible for yourself. And I like it. Good
And
to see how these
Young
individual
Cider,
matches look out.
yeah, Young Cider on the Yasuo, that's exactly where I was headed. The Yasuo into the Syndra, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to play if you are Yasuo, especially in the early levels before you get any lifesteal to help sustain any of the long-range poke that Shredded Lettuce can throw down. But if you play it well, you can throw up that wind wall into the Unleashed Power, and then all those orbs just face plant and smack themselves in the ground. There's no further threat. You can even wind wall the Scat of the Week to stop that CC from coming through to help Indefiance try to make a play. So lots of opportunities here for Young Cider. He has a team basically built around him. A lot of eyes on this player. Young Cider going to have to come up big if Mamba Mentality don't want to be facing series point.
Yes, very true. And I think that this is a better matchup for him than the last one he was in. I think he should have a better time here. I think this is not as I don't think he'll be as punished as he was on that Vladimir versus Anivia matchup. So definitely looking forward for him to have a comeback game here as well. And honestly, his team is setting him up for it. He is set up to have potentially a really, really good game here, right? If all these team fights go well, if Yasuo could be the finisher in all these team fights, he looks like there's going to be a lot of great Yasuo opportunities. And yeah, if he can take advantage of that, he could definitely have a bounce back game. We could forget that game 1 ever happened.
All right, Young Slider, you heard it here first. You just got the greatest deal of your life from Ito. Game 1 didn't even happen. He'll erase it off the scoreboard if you like, if you can show us a pop-off Yasuo performance in game 2. On the other end, I'm looking at Bowkeeper. Man got himself a quadra kill. He's got a Lulu on his back, this time on the Jinx. That is so much damage. Shifo on a late game carry as well. Both of these opposite side laners now have tools to really dig in and carry these games if you are Chicken Gang. But with that, we are thoroughly into our spectator delay, and game 2 is just a few minutes out on the horizon. We'll be right back when we load up under Summoner's Rift. Stay tuned.
this when the curtain falls. Risk it all, hold nothing back. Seize the day, we must attack. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of the world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the Can we bring to fall the giants? 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 We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of the world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of all ages. It is time for Game 2 between Chicken Gang and Mamba Mentality here in the Black Twitch League semi-finals. Game 1, Chicken Gang just rolled over the Mentality and absorbed all their momentum coming in. And now, well, it's all on Slider. My eyes are thoroughly peeled on this Yasuo and what he can do. It is Ignite into the Syndra. He's certainly looking for that lane dominance into a win here, a must-needed win, unless Mamba Mentality want to face themselves at series point.
Yeah, that would be incredibly difficult. Going down 2-0, it is incredibly difficult to come back. Not impossible. Reverse sweeps do happen. I do remember BTL Season 6, there was a very infamous reverse sweep that happened in the finals. So reverse sweeps do happen, but boy, oh boy, are they very difficult to even like mentally get through. Just to have the mentality to really get yourself through a mental sleep. It's very difficult on your mental if you go down 2-0 to try and make it back into the series. So Mount Mentality really want this win, and I can't say it enough. I love the team comp that they have drafted here. I love ease of execution. I like what they got going on bot lane. They still have another super high pressuring bot lane. Mario Flames has another opportunity to just completely abuse the enemy bot lane with his champion. And we'll see here. And oh boy, look at that Zyra leash. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen Zyra leash.
It's one of the best in the game. You can't really say the same about Camille, so I'm Defiance will be starting on a little bit of a slower pace, but it's a faster clearing jungle, so it shouldn't matter all too much. As Indefiance going to head back up towards those Krugs, and you can already see some pings actually coming down to the map. Malone already getting off to some jungle tracking without any vision, so he's very wary about where Defiance is headed for this early stages of the game.
That was well done. I imagine that was some communication, noticing that the Camille was late to lane. And therefore, like, okay, well, that means he stopped here. He started here, and he probably papped this way. Well done. They're good to share. And yeah, okay, yeah, they are continuing to ping where they think he is. They are on target. I love that. That is well done. That is insane, actually.
And while they don't know they're on target, we know it, and man, does it feel good. Malone is showing up, though, behind the likes of Shifa, who does have Flash. Not sure if he has Hookshot Wall Dive quite available. I don't think he does. He has Q and W. He doesn't have the right ability, but Shifa will flash away from the flag and drag. So Malone will show up on top side and not find a kill. But in Defiance, cannot get off to any counter jungling, so it's really just a gank for gank's sake.
How interesting. Okay. Yeah, well done. Yeah, very different start here from Malone. Did not do the full clear, went straight into the gank topside. Also doing a good job, again, guessing as to where he is. He's a slightly off there, slightly off, but he was correct that that is where Rumble just cleared. So, on point on tracking Rumble. Blind,
And a
by
quick
the way. I love
slice
that.
and Mario Flames trying their hardest down here to bully out like they did so well in game one. Ended up not being the necessary win condition for them, but certainly was impressive to see such a commanding CS lead early on. And they're working on that same sort of agency in this one. It is now time, though, for In Defiance to make his first move on the map. There is no ward in this Tribush, so Quick Slice and Mario, they have no idea what's going on. The Arcane Shift is veiled, but Mario is going to have to rely on that flash to get away. The Root's going to find the mark, looking for a return, killing the Bowkeeper, but that was never going to happen. Burn, baby, burn. First kill the Chicken Gang and In Defiance.
Oh, it seems like it probably would have happened. Quick Slice missed Ezreal's W on Bowkeeper. There probably would have been enough damage to pick up the kill if that did land. They almost got the return kill on Bowkeeper. That was what Mario was going for. He said, well, I'm dead, so let's see if I can take one down with me. Almost did it, but wasn't quite enough. Incredible gank there from Indefiance. Got really good positioning there behind the pushing bot lane of Mamba Mentality. You see on the way pings.
Ooh, Malone
Oh, but they
looking-
1000% see him.
Yeah, he's on a ward. He's going to walk over it now. There it is. And Malone's gang number 2 will not find any success. A recall is in for Bow and Eviction. But their lane is pushing out. This is not a good lane state to leave like this. They're going to go so far down in TS. And look, Quick Slice is not pushing this wave. He's letting those minions kill his own. So Bowkeeper's going to lose out on a lot here for this. Maybe looking for the recall tempo for Dragon, but Malone is already on this one with the help of Mario.
Yeah, I think they get the best out of that. The best out of that situation. That situation in the bot lane. Right now, the waves and everything, the control, this could be an early Dragon for Mamba Mentality. Looking to not go down so much early as they did last time. And also, look at Hacksaw up here slapping Sheepo. look at this rock.
He's giving him the works. I mean, Shifo's commanding CS lead. He's up
Right.
about 10 CS, but Hexus actually grabbed himself a Dark Seal. So interesting to see at the beginning of this game
Okay.
for Hexa.
Okay. Alright, the Dark Seal, I like it. I'm assuming that's to make the Corrupting Potion a bit more powerful. But still, I like it.
Look, confidence, I guess. I mean, if he doesn't think he's going to die, thinks he can play safe enough, add a little bit of extra ability power, a little bit more potential to one-shot the backliners when necessary. Very excited, though, for when we do get to those later game team fights. For now, obviously, it's been a couple ganks here and there, a couple looks on either side lanes. But really, the condition here for Mamba Mentality isn't to find early game success. Yes, you want Malone to get aggressive early on and start blowing summoners. But the moment Hacksaw and Slider combo up for that unstoppable into Final Breath, man, oh man, is that something to witness.
Yes, that'll be very definitely something to witness. We'll see. That could also really determine how a lot of these dragon fights go. If we get a good teleport play into an early, as we round out to a level 6 for these champions, as the next dragon is spawning in 3 minutes. It'll be a while, but whenever that next dragon spawns, what I'm trying to say is that those ultimates will be up, and we will look for a explosive team fight. Perhaps that involve the Malphite Yasuo combination. It doesn't have to be Malphite, by the way. Hilariously enough, it could also a good J4 flag and drag, a good knockup from Zyra. There are multiple tools that can actually give Yasuo this knockup here.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about. It doesn't have to be the Malphite. There's a lot of options, and you don't have to worry about peeling for your main carry, right? Your main carry is Quick Slice on the Ezreal outside of Young Slider, so it's not like you need to keep any ultimates for him. You can commit everything to Slider this game, and sure, let's imagine a world they whiff the Malphite ult. You still got 2 other options to set you up outside of what Slider can do by himself, so really lots of options for this mid laner. So far, keeping himself even in terms of CS. He's already picked up extra Merc Treads, deny a little bit of ability power that Shredded Lettuce can throw forward, and that stun will last a little bit less. So some more agency to dash his way around this mid lane and maneuver into these early game skirmishes, as Young Slider so often likes to do.
All that work took the red division reward immediately replaced. But hey, make him spend that money. That vision.
Shredded Lettuce is roaming himself down here. Bowkeeper's going to throw down the traps, and on vision now is this Jar. Here comes the party. TP is going to be canceled, I believe. No, it's actually going to go forward as a spectator bug. The true shot barrage is just so much damage. Bowkeeper is already dead. Hacksaw is now the target. He's going to be healed up by Quick Slice. Do they have any more ability to chase forward? Shredded Lettuce doesn't have that Sky of the Week for a few more seconds, and Bowkeeper is the only one to fall. In all the chaos, they find the AD carry and get a 1-0.
Done there from both top laners reacting, but the Malphite comes in with a little bit more oomph. Malphite has the ulti. It's not the same whenever Camille. I mean, Camille has a great ultimate too, but in that little scuffle there, now as we're gonna stop the recall there. Okay, gonna delay Camille getting back to that lane. And meanwhile, it looks like J4 is doing a little something on the other side of the map, picking himself up a Rift Herald. At least I'm pretty sure he did. Is that what? Yeah. Wait, huh?
Rift Herald has not spawned yet. That's just his skin, I think. It's just how
wait, am I crazy? Is there not a Rift Herald eye sitting there? Is that my spectator client? Am I crazy? Wait, he didn't. Wait, I'm so confused.
No, it's chilling. He didn't have a Rift Herald for now.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Rift Herald. You're right. On my screen, there was a Rift Herald chilling. Like I even went over it. There's Rift Herald just chilling. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was a spectator bug.
Okay, In Defiance lays out the red carpet, but it's just a different angle.
Did the minion eat that from? Did the minion eat that E from In Defiance?
I think so, and that was a really strange gank attempt. And Rumble ult is not too low on a cooldown at this point in the game. Drake's up in 25 seconds, so that gank attempt is going to blow 2 ultis here for the likes of Chicken Gang. They might not look to contest this one.
Interesting.
Shifo doing his best up here on the top side to keep this wave in a favorable state for himself. Hacksaw trying to break this freeze. Shifo finally going to push this one out, but it's a really large CS lead that Shifo's begun to build up. All that time that was TP'd into bot side, the wave was favorable to Shifo. It was pushing right back towards him. And here comes Mario over the wall like a hero. They're putting up the traps. Mario is going to do so much damage to Bowkeeper, who has to flash away. God. The damage is already so low into Mario. He's going to go down. In Defiance going to be kept alive by the Wild Growth. Malone is in the middle of the Cataclysm, barely going to be able to walk away for now. And Fiction, with one more shield, will keep himself alive. Slider in the back lines, going to slash his way through the team. Double kill to this Yasuo. The lifesteal is just not in. Now Bowkeeper's excited, who will finally finish off this Yasuo 2 for 2. Both junglers down. Drake still alive.
Ooh, what an interesting fight there. Mario Flames is just, what a chat. He's like, I'm gonna be the front line. I'm gonna start this fight myself. We're gonna start this fight off right, says Mario Flames, and he just gets in there and does a ton of damage to the ADC. That was just absolutely hilarious to me to see just Zyra just blast over and just walk up. Also, somebody needs some confirmation because I'm not sure if it's just my client. The Rift Herald is currently dead, right? It is not alive. Like on your on our map, is that also true on the stream? Okay, on the stream that is also true. Rift Herald is dead, and it should have spawned a while ago, so it was killed, but it wasn't picked up by anybody. That's what I'm saying. Something very weird happened.
Huh. Yeah, we're gonna have to look back at that one later.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. The Rift Herald was killed at some point. I saw J4 on the minimap, like right all over where the Rift Herald should be, but I never saw him pick up the eye. So maybe it was stolen by somebody else.
Well, it hasn't been placed down yet, so even if it was stolen, no one decided to actually complete the robbery. Slider's just getting burned. There's Last Tempest. So well played for him so far, but he just doesn't have the damage. Final auto was in, and a solo kill for In Defiance on the enemy mid laner. Meanwhile, Malone makes the best of a bad situation and grabs second Drake to the likes of the mentality.
Drake, very different early game so far from Mamba mentality.
3-5 now is the state of play for Chicken Gang and Mamba mentality. A solid gold lead for Chicken Gang. They got off to a good start in last game, but there's more fight back this time. There's more playmaking potential from the likes of Mamba Mentality. They have the Malphite, they have the Yasuo, they have the Jarvan, and even Mario putting himself on the front line, just trying to get as much damage and utility out before he eventually goes down. It's nice to play, a nice play to see from Mario as Shifo goes in for a quick trade, and the more and more Shifo's in this slide lane against Hacksaw, the stronger Shifo's gonna get.
Yeah, you see this CS differential here is just building. Sifo's freely farming up here in this top lane, and just abusing the rock.
Ooh, Flash Polymorph is in onto Mario. One more auto is done it. Bowkeeper is going to be rooted up now, locked down inside the Cataclysm. He's going to be taken down by Mario, of all people. The plant will finish the kill. Equalizer set down to the backside. An easy pickup for Indefiance in the return end of things. 3-for-1 trade as Indefiance was there for a nice counter gank.
Oh, this rock is getting very low underneath this tower.
Shifo maybe thinking about a dive, but
Yeah,
Hacksaw will be forced to recall. TP is available for Hacksaw, but if he commits to TP back to this wave, he is not going to have that teleport for the next dragon or any potential TP plays, and instead, he's just going to walk up and decide to lose that wave, and that is going to put him double the CS now. Shifo has 2 times the amount of creep score that Hacksaw does at this point.
1000%. And but I guess he's just like playing for the team. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna lose all the CS, but it's better for me to keep this teleport in case my team needs me. He knows what his role is in this game.
I would have liked to see some extra defensive itemizations instead of that Dark Seal for Hacksaw, but technically he has not died, so he can maintain that 1 stack on the Dark Seal. And
that is true.
I mean, I don't know. I would have liked to see Steel Caps completed first into the Bramble, then into something like the Sunfire or Frostfire, but instead, it will just be the Dark Seal sitting on that 1 stack. Hacksaw doing his best to clear away some vision, as both junglers thinking about making a move up here, but will not do so. Rifttail back online.
I just realized that Ezra has 4 assists. Ezra has not been able to get any of the kills in these scuffles. He has 100% KP, and they're all assists.
Young Slider. Does he have the great escape? And he does. He just slides right out. What a move from the Yasuo. The gank attempt just comes up empty, and Shredded Lettuce in Defiance, they got their ankles broken.
Really definitely did. Look at this pressure, continued pressure in the bot lane. But Jinx, Bowkeeper doing a very good job, staying even on CS. Getting pressured, but doing just fine. Jinx also has a high KP along with the... Oh, and there's an engage.
Shredded Lettuce is ignited, but he will not die. Unleash power still available. He's going to be taken down to about 1 HP. That is ignite and ulti down from this Yasuo. Drake's up in a minute. Cooldowns being expended. Shredded Lettuce does not have TP, so will be forced to miss that mid wave. We'll put him significantly down on minions. As Defiance lurking in this backside brush. Has the equalizer building up that bar, and this could get dangerous. Just wait for that red carpet to drop.
They seem a little bit aware here as they back all the way up. They're like, hey, Indefiance, what's up, buddy? Are you here to bully us again? With damage.
Quick slice, man. He can't get his recall off. That is so unfortunate. 20 seconds left on the dragon before it spawns on up, and it's been priority for Chicken Gang throughout the night so far. They feel like they're always at objectives first, and this is no different. Defiance already setting up some vision around it as Ocean Drake will fly out onto the rift. It's sole point of Mamba mentality if they can secure it, but they do not have positioning. Hacksaw is here though. Shifo has not teleported. Flash away is so good from Bowkeeper. Now Hacksaw has to disengage. The rocket is wind-walled away, but Hacksaw is already dead to the unleashed power. Now the backside of the fight. Quick Slice is going to be taken down to a nice Hextech ultimatum from Shifo. Malone is on the run. The zap will not connect, but it does not matter. He locks himself inside the Cataclysm cage. And Young Slider and Mario Flames have to watch their win condition and Ocean Soul burn away.
That was individually well played by the three members of Chicken Game that all individually dodged that Malphite ultimate. That was so interesting to see them scatter and no one get hit by the. I believe that was a flash ultimate from Malphite that whiffed. And oh, with that, probably went their chances in that team fight as Shifo arrived and just absolutely demolished the ADC.
Yeah, Hacksaw coming up empty-handed, but you have to give props to Bowkeeper, Defiance, and Shredded, all finding a way out of that engage. Bowkeeper flashes away. He can then free fire from the backline safely. His rocket actually gets windwalled in the fight, but it doesn't matter. The Unleashed Power was coming through, and Hacksaw goes down. And after that, your frontliner is gone. Cataclysm doesn't do much for you for the Yasuo, so Slider can't find access onto any critical targets. He simply gets outranged, slowed to death, and Inviction cleans up the rest with the team with that extra protection. Now Chicken Gang have built themselves up a massive lead at the 19-minute mark, and Mamba Mentality have to find a way to get Slider online, or this one could slip away from them.
Yeah, people in chat are reacting to how clean Chicken Gang's reaction was to that map. I definitely think that was a very incredible moment there from all members, just slightly dodging that ultimate. So crucial too, that could have gone the other way had that ultimate gone the other way.
Certainly, it could have changed the trajectory of that whole entire fight, but instead, we're now where we're at, and that is really a troublesome spot. Well, now it's for Defiance that might be in some trouble. Malone is tanking up the turret, but what are you doing, man? That's a little bit too much tank action going on. Ignite will take down. Mario gets his third kill. 1 for 1. Both junglers will fall.
Oh, they made something happen there. They made something happen there. I can't believe that time where, yeah. Oh, no. Was that an ultimate?
Shifo, oh man, he's arrived onto the valuable carries. He's arrived into Mario Flames, and Quick Slice and Hacksaw are trying to chase him down, but they do not have enough to actually pursue this. Camille, do not do it, Quick Slice. Do not Arcane Shift over that wall. I beg of you, man, you do not win that 1v1. Shifo is going forward, though, with a hook shot wall dive under the shirt. The shield will keep him safe, and now the siege becomes deadly from Chicken Gang as they're looking to knock down mid-tier 1.
Shifo has a lot of damage and a lot of CS. Shifo hurts. And these whipped Malphite ultimate, these whipped engages here, Mamba Mentality, that does not work out well for them, as whenever Chicken Gang turns it back around, they're doing a lot with that.
And that's what Chicken Gang's composition is designed to do. It's designed to outplay it, to maneuver you around. That's not what Mamba Mentality is meant for. They're meant to hit you all up front with their big combo, and after that, there's not much left in the tank. Really, it's only Quick Slice left to do consistent damage. You could say Slider could do the same, but he's going in with Malphite, right? He's going in with Hacksaw. There's not really a backline Yasuo carry without that Malphite ulti. So just been whiffed attempt after whiffed attempt here for Mamba Mentality. Chicken Gang now have a 7,000 gold lead headed into their second Drake, and again, looking to deny Soul Point.
Man, oh man, where did it all go wrong for Mamba Mentality? I feel those team fights, losing those team fights is so crucial. Just the small micro plays there to avoid getting engaged. There hasn't been a single good like Yasuo ult on the team yet in this game, and we are 21 minutes in. We have not seen a single Malphite ultimate into a Yasuo ultimate yet, and that's not what you want to see. Your comp is still built to do a specific thing, and we have not seen that thing happen yet. We've seen most of the damage being done by Mario Flames. This Zyra, he's playing as aggressively as possible, trying to take his team to the promised land. But that is not the game plan.
It's just not the move here.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like in a game 2, you can sort of maneuver your way into a different composition, and it can often pay off, but this time, it's really not paying the dividends here for Mamba Mentality. But good news for them is that it's not all done and over. They still have the big combo, right? Even if you are this far behind, if you can find Lettuce or Bowkeeper on the engage, that is big. That basically makes up for the gold differential in and of itself. And they're setting up some vision around top side. They're looking to give away this dragon in return for some map pressure.
Very true. And yeah, they need to get themselves a tower. They are down 3-0, so it's nice to have their first one. Hopefully they can. Ooh, they may be losing a tier 2 tower in response. It looks like they definitely will, and they'll lose the dragon as well.
Look at the damage Boatkeeper does now for this team. He is Runon's Jinx. It's just so much damage. Working on an LDR, I believe, as well, with that extra long sword in pocket. So 2 Ocean Drakes to the likes of Chicken Gang. Slider doing his best to clear out the wave, and now vision priority is all around the Baron.
Yeah, and you know what? Also, I'm also it feels bad as Ezreal when you have participated in every single kill for your team and have none of them as the ADC. You're 0-2 and 5. Feels that's unfortunate. That you would love to see Ezreal have a bit more gold here for his contributions to these team fights.
Yeah, sadly, Mario's picked up a lot of those. You mentioned it earlier, the lack of AP is made up for by Mario Zyra, so he's not the worst member of the team to have the gold.
Right.
Yeah, he's got the Leandries, working on Demonic, so that double burn itemization eventually will be there, but without the support gold really coming through at this point in the game, Mario's going to really stall out in his gold income. So Quick Slice needs to find some gold, and he needs to find it fast before Chicken Gang get impatient and just decide to start up this Baron.
Right. And they really need to get another tower here too. They lose so much map pressure by this mid lane tower still being alive. Like mid lane tower, I think is always so important to knock down. It opens up so much of the map, and coincidentally, also you lose a lot of the map whenever you lose your mid lane tower. So they're just really struggling here. If they can't get that wave up to that tower and just knock those last few HP points down, they'll have to try and defend the Baron from an awkward position, I think. They don't really have... It's hard for them to walk up as easily when they don't have the control of that part of the map. But
Certainly 2 items in for Shifo. Say the same for Boatkeeper. He's already picked up that last Whisper. Shredded Lettuce sitting on a stopwatch as well. Defiance sitting on 2 items plus some Magi's. And you look at the other end of things, and there's just not that much gold. But Quick Slice has finished his second item. That Man Immune is in, waiting on that transformation to complete. As 4 members stacked around this Baron looking to lure someone out. 1 member caught out could mean this Baron gone in a heartbeat. Hacksaw has teleport if he does need to join in. But it's just a bait now from Chicken Gang as they're waiting to find a pick.
Yeah, and Mamba has a good ward there, so they're 100% aware of Chicken Gang's positioning. So there shouldn't be any surprises.
Do they decide to start this one straight up? It's Scuttle Crab for now. They're just dancing around this Baron. They don't have the confidence to straight up start up. And of course, fish in a barrel like look against a Malphite Yasuo is not really where you want to be. So I can't fault them all too much, but I'm not sure you gain enough out of just sitting around here. Are we really allowing Mamba mentality to keep on farming, keep on getting their camps on reset? So you need to be careful if you're Chicken Gang not to just waste your time and wait for this Drake to start up. That does come in about 90 seconds.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, yeah, every minute that goes by that Mamba does not lose the game, another minute where they could win the game. So yeah, for the team that's behind, any type of stalling benefits you, right? You just want more time to get your gold, because at some point, the gold defense does not matter. At some point, if you're down 10k but you have 100k and they have 110k, it doesn't matter. Everyone's at full build. So yeah, keep delaying it is what Mamba would like to see happen. They don't necessarily need to get the Baron. As long as the enemy team is not getting the Baron, then they're happy.
Yeah, exactly right. It's not about always having control over the objective yourself. It's as long as the enemy team doesn't have that objective, it's an objective you don't have to worry about. So back to mid lane, push 40 seconds left on Ocean. And this is where things can get a little bit interesting, or teams can start thinking about trading objectives. What is more important, Soul Point on Ocean Soul, or that outright Baron? For now, though, it looks like Chicken Gang are making the call. They want to fight this Drake.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for the dragon fight, or at least start setting up some vision in that area, take control of that part of the map. And Mario will take this time to take control of some of the Baron division. Yeah, we see that they're positioning over there. All right, I guess. Oh, this could be the option for a trade. They may look for the trade as it is spawning.
Gotta do this one fast.
Ooh,
if you
but they
are-
have vision,
Yeah, it's too late now. You
and
can't
it's too
start this
late.
one up.
And it's too late. Oh,
This is dangerous. You gotta turn. You gotta fight. Baron is already down though. They do this one kind of fast. Quick Slice, Mario, and Young Slider doing a lot of damage. Now it's a foot race to this Baron Ito. They're on the hunt. It's a Zyra ulti to try to deny. 1,000 left, and it's secured by Malone. But what does the rest of the fight look like? Sider's gonna use the ulti onto Shifo, who goes immediately into the Hex Cultivator, trying to flash away, but the shutdown is gonna be given over to Quick Slice. Unleash Power gonna go forward, but it's only gonna take one member so low. Hacksaw barely keeping himself alive, and Baron for Soul Point. Somehow Mamba mentality. Pull
My
off highway
God.
robbery.
yikes! What a ballsy play! What an absolute balls of steel play! Who made that call? Oh my God! They actually finished it. The absolute madmans. What mental is that? Jesus, that'd be so nerve-wracking. As you see them chasing down the other members of your team, they have to use the Zyra ultimate. They try to slow them down with the Malphite and everything that they can just to slow them down just a little bit so they could just get the Baron and make it away like bandits. Oh my God, I'm really surprised they got away with it, to be honest.
Yeah, that is honestly crazy that Chicken Gang didn't send more members up to contest the Baron. They don't need all 5 members on the Drake to secure it. Bowkeeper honestly could solo it, and Defiance could do that one solo, or Shifo. But instead, they lose their top laner. They give the shutdown on over to Quick Slice. And Mamba mentality now, for what feels like the first time in the game or in the whole series, have control over Summoner's Rift, at least for a little bit while this Baron manifests.
Very, very true. And they're going to take some towers with it. We already see the bot lane tower going down. It is now 3 towers to 4. Mamba's only down 1 tower now. They're still down a significant amount of gold, but it's less. And you know what? It just helps with the mental. Now you have a little bit more confidence. Now your ADC picked up his first kill of the game and it was a shutdown. That it's all going to be significant for these upcoming fights.
Quick check on the itemization as well, as the gold does come through. Shifo's working on his 3rd item on his way towards that ever-scaling Camille. Shredded Lettuce sitting on 2. Still the Magi's in for Indefiance. And do want to touch on the bot lane here. Bowkeeper and Inviction are extremely strong at this point. 3 plus the stopwatch from Bow. Inviction sitting on that extra grievous wounds. That Chemtech Putrefier can do so much to deny the extra lifesteal. Anyone that he heals or shields will get immediate 40% grievous wounds. And then anyone outside of that gets 60% automatically. That is powerful, powerful stuff. But now, finally, some items are being completed on the other end from Mamba mentality. All this gold they've got feels like a new, fresh look for them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Feels good. Feels good to complete those items. You just feel more confident as you go back and complete an item that you've been working towards as you've been behind this whole game. Like, you're thinking, like, okay, with this item, maybe now I can win myself a fight. And, oh! What? That was blind?
Shifo's dead.
I'm not sure if you want to... Oh, you're right.
Shifo is just dead. The rest of the team is here. He's caught out. I'm not sure how Young Slider found the play, but he had the sight anyway. Shifo's on the run, but the rest of the team is sieging down mid lane. It took 4 members to take him down.
Interesting. Mamba mentality, find the catch, and on Shifo. Young Slider, it was so close. Shifo was almost out of there. He just decided, like, let's throw one over here to be safe, and stopped Shifo's recall, and that will result in a very dead Shifo. And that could be significant. They won't have Shifo right now for the next 27 seconds.
And that should be free priority over Drake. It's not Soul for Mamba mentality. So honestly, if you're Chicken Gang and you don't get your top laner here in time, you can give it up. Does have TP, will be able to walk there, of course, in plenty of time. But I'm not sure that you really want to contest this one if you have to walk into Hacksaw, if you have to walk into Young Slider. This is the first time it feels like that Mamba mentality have control not only over Summoner's Rift, but over the critical Drake pit. And it now is less than a minute away, Ito. This could be a game-deciding fight.
And 1000% can. They still have these press hard. They still have an easy to execute team fight. It is still there. It has not gone away. It really just takes one to really change the state of the game. You can see that they were down 7K, not only down like 4K, 5K right now. So they've definitely brought this game a lot closer.
All right,
See,
setup is
Shifu
in
back with the
Defiance.
It has teleport and it's in the top side. Oh, we have some people waiting in a bush.
I thought Indefiance was actually going to complete his recall there, but instead, he will not. He will head on over to this bottom wave, clearing that one out. Mario Flames setting up a trap here. If he binds Indefiance, that could be a one-shot. You're not in the right spot, my guy, and goodbye, jungler.
Oh, they
Quick
use
slice
everything.
not
They make
even
sure.
needed. And they just delete Indefiance before he has a chance to move. Shifo's still in a split push, though. It is sole point. 7 Drakes is where we're headed. And Shifo is headed for the base.
Oh my god. Oh, he's really. Oh god, Camille's really doing some damage to it as well.
Late game split push threat Shifo is something you really have to worry about at this point. Will back away. But again, it is priority to the likes of Mamba mentality. They'll push in mid once again, but they're just not committing for this mid tier 2.
They are not. They are definitely still hesitant. Perhaps they'd like to get a recall off. Reset. They are still fine with playing it slowly. It's like, you know, we are still in the position where we want this game to go longer, but yeah, not
Right.
taking advantage of that. Well, I mean, they got the dragon, and I guess they're happy with that. They got the dragon, they defended the tower.
Yeah, they don't lose their base, which is honestly all you can ask for from Mamba mentality. The way things started in this game, Shifa was 2-0, by the way, coming into the mid game. He's now relegated to 2-2. Indefiance still has so much damage, but that Magi's is now dropped to 0 pages, and Shredded Lettuce still working on that third item. Bowkeeper's completed the LDR, working on the Infinity Edge, or could be a Guardian Angel for him with that stopwatch. Unless he's just hanging on to that one for the right time, as Baron is started up.
Yeah, and Bowkeeper was brought down to like half HP there from that ultimate. And look at Mario Flames. Look at the zoning from one character. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at
it's
that.
already down to about
Oh.
2,000. It's not going to be sold away. Yes, it is! Indefiance
Oh
steals away
my
Baron with a flash
God.
knight over the wall. He will lose his life, certainly, for it. He actually takes down one as well. Scout of the Week is going to land. Unleash Power does not go to the same target, though. So double kill on over to Quick Slice. Shifo is trying to chase down Hacksaw, who no longer has the unstoppable force, nor the Hextech ultimatum in for Shifo. Stolen Baron from Chicken Gang, and they're still in it.
What a steal. What a steal there from Indefiance. I did not think we were going to see it. I did not think he was going to be able to walk over. He barely made it over to the pit in time, made it through, fought through the vines of Zyra's trap, and was able to make it to the pit in time and flats over and steal the Baron away. Incredibly clutch there from Indefiance. Indefiance having an incredible performance in this game just in general. 7-4 and 5. 12 out of 14 kill involvement here on this Rumble. The most in the game, if I'm doing my quick math correctly. Yeah, the most in the game.
And you have to wonder why they were allowed that sort of priority. I'm not sure what's going on with this late game composition from Chicken Gang, but they cannot find any objective control at all. They're stuck behind pits. They can't find an entrance point, and it takes a flash steal from Indefiance to actually keep them in this game. They had such good control, and they have so many good scaling elements as well, but they're just not on top of the map. But for now, they get a little bit of priority for themselves. This Baron Siege could set up for Soul, and it's going to come down to one fight, one jungle smite to deter one Soul in game 2.
Yeah, very true. We'll see if Mamba was able to get that last dragon based off of the pick. That started from the pick that they were able to get onto Indefiance. We'll see it.
Oh! Mario Flames is going to go golden to
Mario
avoid the
Flames
Unleashed
went
Power, but
golden.
he's just dead all the same. The
Ooh,
Force of
he's
Will
still
will
dead.
find the kill, and Mario Flames is dead for 40 seconds. Drake does not spawn for 60, though. He's going to have to race right back to this objective. Shifo over the wall with a hook shot, wall dive. Here comes the Shirelli and the Hextech ultimatum. Polymorph is going to layer as well, but it takes so long to kill this member. Meanwhile, with the backside of the fight, Shredded Lettuce is going to have to go golden. They've lost their mouth fight, but Shredded Lettuce is in trouble. Flashing forward is Young Slider. He's going to find the enemy mid laner exhausted now, but it does not matter. The Wild Growth is going to keep Inviction alive. Flying Drag on the Bowkeeper. Here comes the red carpet, baby. burn down Malone will. Inviction gets the kill on that. Now they're pushing for more. Quick Slice is going to be tagged by the Zap, flashing forward now. The hook shot wall dive once more again from Shifo, who is dominating on this Camille. Ace, 5 kills in for the likes of Chicken Gang. They could secure themselves Soul in 20 seconds, or they could look to push down mid lane and crack the base.
Wow, oh wow. The difference of having Mario Flames there or not. That was very unfortunate for Momentality, and then just incredible team fighting from Chicken Gang, taking advantage of the opportunity that was given to them. And now things are looking quite grim for Mama, because this is definitely going to be the Soul point. Very easily going over to Chicken Gang, and they're going to lose the tower in the bot lane as well. Gonna see if they can defend the inhibitor turret, as Shifo is gonna, oh my goodness gracious.
What? Shifo just
God.
solo kills Mario. He had flash, but
God.
it does not matter. Shifo, man, he is a force to be reckoned with. And now it is Soul to Chicken Gang. Ocean Soul of all. These fights are gonna be so damn hard to win.
Ooh. Oh man, feels bad. Oh Jesus, Zyra just absolutely deleted. That's something about these mage supports. They really could just die like that. They could just get absolutely popped. And especially from a Camille, Sipo finding the right picks here to try to secure the victory for his team. Now a 10,000 gold lead for Chicken Gang. Really, again, if I was already saying how the game was looking rough and the back's against the wall, that makes it even rougher and tougher. They still have the potential to have a good team fight. But really got to figure, like, who can they pick out? Like, what do they do about this monster of a champion that is Sipo?
Not only that, but you have to worry about Indefiance, who has a long-range equalizer, and he's basically at full build. Shredded Lettuce can pick out one target, press R, and they're out of the fight. And Bowkeeper, meanwhile, if he's allowed to free fire from the back line, it is incredible to witness how much damage Bowkeeper can get through. Inviction, of course, will keep the AD carry safe for as long as possible. And there's just too many threats at this point you have to worry about. You're going to have such good discipline from Mamba mentality. Hacksaw is going to have to find a big ulti, and Youngsider is going to have to be ready to make the hero play and the play of his career if they want to pull out a win in game 2. Baron spawns at about 50 seconds. As Chicken Gang don't want to push forward anymore. They know what could be lurking in a brush, so instead they'll pull away and circle themselves up for the next objective.
Yup. This is gonna be deciding the end of the game.
Is she dead? They're both dead. No, Mario's gonna live, but Quick Slice, man. If you got children in the room, cover their eyes. It is PG-13, maybe rated R, because that was filthy from the likes of Shredded Lettuce. And Indefiance is going to burn down Mario Flames. There's the engage into the back line, but Shredded Lettuce is going to barely keep himself alive with the Zanyas, with the Stasis, and Inviction with that Wild Growth. He's not able to keep his mid laner alive, but look who is in the base. It's Shifo. It's time to stop the recalls, but because the split pressure on this threat is too much, and they're going to cancel these bases, Ito. It might be game over. Equalizer Mark II is going to keep him away, and Malone will drop. Bowkeeper's on a killing spree, and Shifo's on to Nexus turret number 2. Here comes the Young Slider and Hacksaw trying to keep him away for a little bit longer. The Hextech Ultimatum is going to put this in a 1v1. Can Young Slider take enough out? But the answer is absolutely not, and game 2 is going to go to the way of the Chicken Gang. And look out, Mamba mentality, because you're on series point.
And there it is. Jesus. Shredded. Let us. The clutch 2 times back to back. First at the Dragon and then at the Baron. That very clutch Syndra QE stunning up and absolutely blowing up the carries of Mamba mentality. I think the first time it was Zyra, and that time it was Quick Slice. Absolutely deleted out of the team fight, and that you simply can't win like that. That's just the end of it right there.
It was much more back and forth this time around. There was some fight back from the likes of Mamba mentality in this one compared to game 1. But at the end of the day, man, when you give away Baron, when you give away Ocean Soul, it's just too hard to win. And the damage is good from Quick Slice, but Young Slider and Hacksaw, they really never found that combo that we were looking for, and because of it, it is now 2-0 to Chicken Gang.